The opposition St. Kitts and Nevis Labour Party launched a protest Friday morning in front of the Electoral Office on Central Street, Bastille, making allegations of irregularities as it relates to the registration of voters. Labour Party officials claim that names are being improperly removed from the voters list and that some of their supporters were having challenges registering to vote. Labour Party MP Conris Maynard was one of the protesters.
They're not doing a number of the things that are required by the law as they should, and then added to that, they are intimidating persons who come to register who they suspect support the St. Kitts and Nevis Labour Party by telling them that the machine is not working. Now tell me, in a modern country where we have some of the most highest rates of internet penetration, IT penetration, cellular phone penetration, we're a high-tech society, you want to tell me that it takes over 8 months to deal with a broken down ID machine? That is ridiculous. But what we want to tell the general public is that do not allow this to scare you from registering.
Labour Party Deputy Leader Marcella Liebert is calling for the resignation of Supervisor of Elections Mr. Elvin Bailey.
He is presiding over a process that is full of illegality, and he himself is engaged in it. For example, he himself went and gave out objection notices to persons. Is he a bailiff? Why is the supervisor? They hire bailiffs to do this, They hire additional bailiffs just to do this. But the supervisor of elections himself went and was giving out notices of objection. I'm sure you've heard me say that I met him at an objection hearing where he was instructing the person who objected to go and transfer his name out of constituency number 2, even though the objector who objected to the person was not even present. They had sworn the man, sworn the person, so they're taking evidence, and the supervisor of election himself is engaging the man in an objection hearing.
Meanwhile, Ms. Liebert says the party is in the process of gathering the necessary evidence from the current objections that are being heard in objection hearings, and once this is completed, they will go to the next level to have their grouses addressed.
But right now, we are waiting for all the objection hearings to be finished so that we can put everything together, and I suspect from what I see that they're coming to an end fairly shortly because most of the other constituencies have completed that exercise already.
However, Acting Prime Minister Sean Richards, in a national address on Thursday night, said despite issues in processing the national voters' ID cards, the Supervisor of Elections and the staff of the Electoral Office continue to carry out their functions effectively and responsibly to ensure that citizens qualified to vote are duly registered.
Mr. Elvin Bailey, the supervisor, has reported that between January and March, some 514 persons were registered, a 270% increase over the 191 persons registered at the same time last year. For April, another 142 persons were enrolled. That is 656 persons for the year, or 383 more persons than during the same period last year. There have also been some 174 transfers recorded since January.
The minister says that the protest actions were politically motivated and would only serve to disrupt the daily operations of the Electoral Office. Acting Prime Minister Richards also addressed the matter of the ID cards.
As recently as the last week in April, the supervisor met with the leader of the opposition, Honorable Dr. Denzel Douglas, member for number 6, and Honorable Marcella Liebert, member for number 2, and these matters were discussed. New printing machines are required to print the national ID cards, and these new print machines need a new computer software to be developed to be properly configured. This is being done by the international computer firm Fujitsu, the same firm that had installed the existing computer equipment some 12 years ago in 2007 under the Douglas administration. But while this correction has to be done, citizens should know and understand that the law is that you can only vote if you are on the register of voters. Once you are on the voters register at any election, you need to have a government-issued ID like a passport or social security card or a driver's license or the national ID card to prove your identity and vote.
Andre Huey, SKN Newsline.